So two questions are really on the same subject, and that subject is fear. Firstly, is it Janiti? What's your name? Janiti? Tamiti. Tamiti. Oh, Tamiti. Tamiti writes, Dear Michael, can you please talk about fear? What is fear? Love, Tamiti. And Susavilla, how are you? Yeah. Her questions, one is the same, but it's very personal. Dear Michael, I have this deep stress in my body. It shows most clearly in my fear of being insufficient in my line of work as a performing artist. She's a singer, as you probably know. I know that part of the answer is to act out of love instead of yearning for love. In my relationship with people and in relation to myself, I feel much love, but when it comes to my work, I can't seem to find my way out of this insufficiency. My ambition to succeed keeps me from enjoying life and to express my potential in full. How can I help myself and release my stress? Here. In the holy books of India, in the Upanishads, there's a line that says, where there is the other, there is fear. Another way of looking at it was Jean-Paul Sartre, the famous French philosopher and writer. He wrote even more explicitly, hell is other people. Now what does that mean? It means that we're all performing artists. Nice smiles from people, that's the recognized truth of it. We are all performing artists. We're all playing a role that we've chosen to play. And at any moment, anybody can see through us and realize that we're not being true and authentic. And so there's a continuous fear that we'll be disclosed, revealed, unmasked, shown to be living a lie. So we give our self-assurance and we want everybody else to give us the same assurance, but they may not. Our friends might, others might, our family might, but that's about as far as it goes. Any moment somebody can stick the mask off you and make you look ridiculous. And that is an all-consuming fear. The basic fear, the basic human fear, not an animal fear, not a bird fear, but the basic human fear is the fear of death. The basic human fear is the fear of dying. And that lies behind even what I just said about other people. So in a way, as long as you fear dying, then fear is likely to arise in certain circumstances in you. But it's there. And if you're young, as some of you are, or even a little bit not so young, as a lot of you are, in a way you're not thinking you're going to die tomorrow, but you know sometime you're going to die, and you may not be focused on it right now, it may not be a consideration, but you know that sooner or later it will be. Now and again you get a flash, oh my God, one day I won't be here. I come, then I won't come. So if you manage to go beyond the fear of dying, then you will go beyond all fears. And as I see it, the way to go beyond dying is to realize that you do not die, or that something is eternal. Your mind will die. Your body for sure will die. Sorry about that. Some of you have beautiful bodies. But is there something that you can connect with that will not die? Jesus said, if the body came from the spirit, it would be a wonder. But if the spirit came from the body, it would be a wonder of wonders. The idea of a spirit precipitating, means giving birth to a body, that's amazing. But if a body can give birth to the spirit, that would be unbelievable. So if the spirit does give birth to the body, or something that the spirit is connected with gives birth to the body, and if the body dies, then the spirit maybe just creates a new body. That's your next life. But if you can find your spirit, to use that term, in this lifetime, as I have done, then you will not fear death. You would have a feeling of certainty that something, not your worldly identity, but some quality in you, which was there before you were born, will be there after your physical death. And if you find that, then you may be sorry about dying. You may feel things have not been completed. You may be sad about missing your family, your children, so on. But that would be a minor trouble. You understand it's the way of things. Then you're connected with the true way of things. And then you will make peace with that. Make peace with the way of things. That's the only way you can deal with the way of things. You can't go against Tao, the way things are, although we fight and struggle to do so. Everything is the way it is. You're going to die. And if you can be with that which says that truth to you, then you can say, I'm going to die physically. Then you're one with Tao, and so you're one with the way of things. So what is there to you? I say a little sadness maybe, but no more of it. So you have to lift yourself out of your worldly self into your cosmic self. And that's why the names now I call cosmic names, in the hope that everybody I give a cosmic name will appreciate before they die that they are part of the cosmos. And the cosmos is eternal. And no matter what the scientists say, that in so many billion years the sun will go out, and so the earth will be just a lump of stone. That's also something that the cosmos is making happen. Something is making happen. It's impossible that the cosmos is self-creating. Something has created something as physical. And the same as something has created you physical, something has created the physicality of the universe, with billions of stars and billions of galaxies. Something is behind it. It cannot be the physical. It has to be something beyond the physical level that creates the physical level. So in fact, my answer to fear also connects with the third question I've got from Sandra. You're right. No, that's not it. This one. No, yes. Nice script. Very pretty. Where's the center? He says to my beloved teacher Michael, I ask of you to talk a bit about the Sufi saying, to be in the world, but not of it. Love it, Santa. You know, in the East, they say, that some people are sent down deliberately to help people in the world, like the famous Indian Krishna, I'm sure most of you have heard of. And these people are known as avatars. An avatar comes from beyond life into life and is sent there, or decides he has to come, or she has to come, in order to take people by the hand and lead them to the truth. Now, is that person, as I enter everybody, is he of the world? He's in the world, sure, but is he of the world? If he comes from beyond the world, joins the world, to work in the world, to take the hands of people, can you say he's of the world? You cannot say he's of the world. So that is the picture that the avatar creates for us all. That if we can attain the same quality as the avatar, then we too can say that we are in the world, but not of it. In my work I use the symbols 0 and 1 and X. By 1, you'll see some necklaces around from some of the Wakis, with this exponent. 1 stands for life in the world. 0 stands for beyond the life in the world, what I call the energy space, which is impersonal, which connects you with all the other people who are also the energy space. You become one, unit in unity. And when these two come together, beyond the physical reality and in the physical reality, then I say that's the X. X being the mathematical symbol for the unknown. So if you find your X, and of course, as some of you will know, my main training, which is to start it again, the 6th one, is called the X run, meaning the move towards the X. When you find the X, then you're both in the world, but you're also in 0. You're in space, you're in being. You're in just isness. Just so. When you're just so, you're not of the world. But because you also have the one in your body, in your life, in your experience, in your relationships, in your activity, then you also have the one as well. But you're not captured by it. You're not felled by it. You're not destroyed by it. You're not smashed by it. You're not dismayed by it. You're not lost in it. You have somewhere to go that looks down, looks beyond and says, now this is happening, now that is happening. And that's the way things are. You're not captured anymore. When you're in the world, you're captured. But if you're just in the world, then you're captured. But if you're in the world as Santa, and not of it, then you're not captured. You do what you have to do, you work the way you do. But you're doing it here. You are behind it. You are beyond it. You're not limited by it. You have transcended it. So I've tried these days to, once again, for many of you, to connect you with that beyond this. It's like a wind. This morning in the session I just walked around the room. I wasn't very active, just standing here, standing there, moving like the wind. And that is spirit energy that moves like the wind. And it affects people very much, affected you all very much. Apart from falling over, which you all do, that's just the physical appearance of what I do. But I'm turning things upside down inside you too. So that you can let go what doesn't matter and what you're fixated with, and free yourself to open to the cosmic energy. And some of you are ready for that, and some of you are not. Some of you are too attached to life. You say, interesting phenomenon. But I have my life to lead, and my next thing is to do this and to do that, and that's okay. It's okay to do. I'm reminded of a poem about my early days when I was in Pune, Bhagwan. I wrote, men, women too, men climb mountains because where the mountain ends, the sky begins. But the point is, at every place on the mountain, the sky begins. All you have to do is to jump. So I invite people to jump. And I see that many people don't want to jump. They say, yeah, later on, because I've got this to do, and I've got to finish my novel, or I've got to finish my job at work, or have to have a few more children first, or whatever. You know. And I say, okay, go further up the mountain. Because we'll all one day reach the top of the mountain, and then you can become an angel and fly off. But you can all do it any time. If you feel the pull, there's a pull up the mountain to continue your life, and there's a pull always in everybody to jump. But if the stronger pull is to go up the mountain, you will go up the mountain. And if the stronger pull is to jump, you will find a way to jump long before you get to the top of the human mountain. And that's the way it is. So that's when I said to somebody, when I gave them a name, that maybe you have it in you. I was really saying to jump without having to spend your whole life climbing this mountain and the next life going up the mountain again. Something is pulling you that maybe for you the pull to jump will be stronger than the pull to walk further up the mountain. And I don't have any feeling to force anybody to do that. I present the possibility. Some people go, yes. Some people say, maybe. Some people say, okay, but not for me. It's okay. That's your destiny. Maybe that's your destiny. But if I see somebody that looks like they can do it, then I celebrate. I say, great. One more angel. One more for the angel realm. And there's a few here, but I'm not going to name them because... So that's it. That's answers the questions. If somebody wants to ask something now, if we have a bit of time, you can do that. If you want to speak up on the floor. But anything I've just said already, or something else that's come to you, I can accept any more questions now.
You were talking about the extensiveness, Jean-Paul Sartre, for instance, naming the prime fear of man to die, the death, to die. Yeah. I would suggest that's not true. The suggestion is that people are much more afraid to become fully alive, only they don't know it.
Yeah, that's true. That sounds it. That's true. But becoming fully alive can be a trap, because what is to be fully alive? You can be fully alive in the body, you can be fully alive in your work, you can be fully alive in your creativity, but if you're restricted to your understanding of what being fully alive is, which is to be physically alive, and mentally alive, and emotionally alive, then that doesn't necessarily bring you transcendence. It brings you a sense of fullness, brings you a sense of being fully human. The Zen master said, after I worked with him, they are no longer human. So to complete the one work, which I know you are doing, is great. It's very important that people feel they have become what they are, but what they think they are is not all that they are. So around that need to become fully alive, or that achievement, the attainment of becoming fully alive, there's another step. But for some people, they have to take that step before they can take the other step. I accept that. Okay. So, yes, Monsieur. Yeah.
I mean, what is tensions? Is tensions energy?
What is tension?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that energy?
Tension is unlived energy.
Unlived energy.
Unlived energy. Held energy. Stopping what Santa was talking about, stopping you from being fully alive. And tension is also fear. We get tense because we are afraid to release energy. But in the place that I'm working for and towards, there can be no tension, because it's all one. Tension is already a polarity, yes or no. If something you have to say yes and something you says no to the same thing, then it's going to create a tension. Like there's always two in tension. Yes and no. I want to do it. I'm afraid to do it. Shouldn't do it. Mustn't do it. Not to do it. There's a tension. And if you're in the one energy, it's all the same. There can be no tension. You just surrender to what is happening and say yes. It's okay. Whatever happens is okay. You don't have any no's. Tension is the tension between yes and no. And the most important word on the path is yes. Yes to what is. I'm not fighting what is. I'm not trying to change what is. I'm not trying to improve what is. But to say yes to the way things are. That's that. Okay.
Is it possible to both jump and then continuing living your life?
Absolutely.
As in my case,
Absolutely.
continuing being an artist,
Absolutely.
and loving my man and doing everything else that I need to, but I need to jump.
Well, I haven't stopped living.
No, I know.
You do know that, don't you? Otherwise I can explain.
You smell like you're alive.
Sure. Well, going back to the question, you can be not of the world, but in it. Well, the in it part is also beautiful.
Yeah. It's just.
But it's not all there is anymore. So then, if you don't succeed, it's not a disaster. But if you're only in the world, then if you don't succeed, as in your case, you're worried about you won't succeed, then that would be a disaster for you. If you don't achieve what you want to achieve,
No, I don't
then
want
you will be very unhappy.
Yeah.
You want it, it's your ambition, you're saying, you're aiming for it.
But I think the music is behind. I hope so.
The music is behind.
Um, the need of succeed, and the music is still there.
Which music? Music itself, you mean?
Well, yeah, in me.
The music in you,
everything,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and the need of expressing myself through music.
Yeah.
Is it the source of why I'm doing it? Where does it come from?
Well, if you trust that, like Beethoven and Mozart did, that the music would come no matter what, then you would have no fear. If it's an idea, then you would have fear. If you have an idea of a connection with the music, or if you turn it into an idea, then you would have fear that it won't materialize. But if it's just coming to you, as it did to these great composers, if it's just coming to you, then you would have no fear.
So
When it
maybe-
comes, you will write a symphony. When it doesn't come, you'll play with the children.
So is it stop doing? Is
That-
it stop doing or acting, or is it just
That's
let
what's
it go?
stop doing.
Well, if the music just comes, as you said, if it's just going through me, or is it a direction for me? Or is it just stop acting? Or-
You don't own it.
No, I know.
And if music is coming like that, from nowhere, you can't demand it either. If music is part of the Tao, then there's no way that you can blackmail the music to come to you when you need it to come. Right? Right?
Yeah, I'm afraid it's not only true for music.
That's right. Not only true for music. The music is more than you are. If you receive the music, then you're blessed. If you don't, you have no grounds for complaint. You can't say, "Oh, but I have such a desire to receive the music that you owe it to me, to give it to me, because my desire is so strong." This doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. You have to be humble. To things greater than us, we have to be humble. And then we will receive. If you're humble, you will receive. If you're greedy, you will not.
If I'm what?
If you're humble,
Yeah.
you will receive.
And-
And if you're greedy,
Oh.
you will not. We cannot demand the things that are beyond us. By definition, they're beyond us, we cannot demand them. We can invite them. We can even pray for them. We can open them, but we cannot insist that we're due. So you have to be humble and be happy if it comes. And accept it if it doesn't. You can't grasp it. Everything lies at hand, but it dissolves if you let the grasp.
What about hard work? Then?
What about hard work?
Hard work counts. If you're struggling with your music, is it okay to struggle? If you're educated, might.
Well, sure, through hard work you can get a certain level of competence at anything. But to be outstanding, to be a genius, to be a hero, there has to be something in you that is present with what you want to receive. I've got the great sportsmen. I mean, they're really great. There's many, many great footballers, great tennis players, and a few geniuses. But they didn't get there through hard work. They were born with it. And they cultivated it. They created a situation in which it could come. Yeah, but you can't work hard to become another Messi or another Roger Federer. You cannot. They had it. They nurtured it, but they had it.
We don't need to be.
Don't need to.
We can't all of us be
No.
number one.
No.
It's okay.
Yeah, but that's the difference between you can all become angels, in the sense that I'm using the word angels. Everybody can. You become an angel doesn't mean she can't or she can't. But great, outstanding people in that area, it's that one, but not this one, and not that one. It's like a pyramid. All things like a pyramid, and somebody's on top. But this space is like this that I'm introducing you to. This space is like this, and there's room for everybody.